See how the colors dance before your eyes. Deep green. Restful green. As soft and deep as a field of high, tall grass. To nestle in. Rest in. Sleep in. Wake up now, Victoria. How's your headache? Any better?
Headache? But it's gone. Janet, you hypnotized me. Where did you learn to do a thing like that?
In the Far East, from an old man who worked in my father's mission. As a matter of fact, he was Key's uncle. Oh, incidentally, speaking of the Far East, I must show you some things we just imported from Hong Kong.
Oh, I'd love to see them.
Will you excuse us? I'm sure you gentlemen would enjoy nothing better than a few cigars and man talk.
Ah, the lady's a fortune teller, too.
I have been looking for a chance to talk a little business with you, Jared.
And I've been waiting for you to offer me one of those expensive cigars of yours. Ah, here we are. You know, it smells almost too good to smoke. Almost, but not quite. Now, what was that business deal you wanted to discuss?
I think you'll find it interesting and profitable. You may or may not know that I've been dabbling in the rice market.
Oh? No, I didn't know.
I hear tell that you're expecting 2 shiploads of rice from Hong Kong. I'd like to buy them. It's the tongue.
Come in. Well. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Fine.
Come on in. Sit down.
Thank you.
Can I offer you something to drink?
Oh, nothing, thank you.
All right, then I've got a better idea. How about lunch? I'm right in the middle of making out a will, and you know how dull that can be, don't you, Counselor?
Gerald, I came on business.
All right, right after lunch.
No. I think what we have to say to each other better be said here, in your office.
All right, Mike, sit down.
Thank you.
Fire away.
Jared, I know you had dinner with Warren Masters last night. I also know the Tong showed up.
That's true.
I don't have to tell you the Tong and the Chinese League are miles apart. We don't believe in violence or terror.
I think I know that, Mike.
The hatchet display. That was a warning from the Tong, Jared, of things to come if Warren Masters succeeds in cornering the rice market. He did offer to buy your 2 shiploads of rice.
Yes, he did. But I don't see that that proves he's trying to corner the rice market.
Lawyer to lawyer and friend to friend, we're not going to get legal, are we, Jared? Masters has bought up every grain of rice he could find. If he gets your 2 boatloads, he'll have it all. He can force the price up and up and up.
I find that kind of hard to believe.
Nevertheless, that's exactly what he's trying to do. And if he does, the Tong will step in. It would be all they need to incite my people. Ever been in the middle of a Tong riot?
No, I can't say that I have. And I never will be if I can possibly help it.
You can help it. This is a standard contract. Pledging you'll sell your rice to the Chinese League market price on arrival. If you sign it.
I think you ought to understand, Mike, that my mother retains control of our shipping interests. She'd have to sign it.
Your mother? I see.
No, I don't think you do see. If what you say about Warren Masters is true, I can guarantee you right here and now that we won't sell him so much as 1 grain of rice.
Your word's good enough for me, Jared. But my people will want to see your mother's name on this contract, and soon. So far, we've held the Tong in check. So far, we've convinced our people that we can improve our lot peaceably. But if Masters wins control of the rice market, the Tong and violence also wins control.
All right, now, what do you think? It's beautiful, Heath. He's a beautiful animal. I'll take him.
Well, he's yours. Shall I wrap him up? You want to ride him home?
I want you to wrap him in pink with a big bow. It's for Janet.
I'll see the boys brush him down real good.
Thanks. Hey, Jared, the other night, before we were so rudely interrupted by the tongue, I was going to ask you whether...
Whether or not we'd sell you our 2 shiploads of rice.
Yeah. I can promise you a good, I think even a handsome profit.
Warren, is it true that you've bought up every grain of rice on the West Coast?
That's true, Jared.
So with ours, you'd have it all. Sort of become the emperor of rice.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, I think it's only fair to tell you that I've already pledged our rice to Mike Chang.
I don't understand. You mean you'd rather do business with hatchet men like the Tong?
Warren, you know I'm not doing business with a Tom. I said I was dealing with Mike Chang and the Chinese League. The only thing they're trying to do is get a fair shake for their people.
Look, Jared...
Against almost impossible odds, I might add.
I'm not anti-Chinese, and you know that.
No, you're not anti-Chinese. It's just that business is business.
Have you talked this over with Victoria?
He has. I brought some lemonade to cool both of you off. Warren, I can't be a party to your cornering the rice market.
Why, I'm not asking you to be a party to anything. Victoria, simply allow me the way you'd allow any legitimate dealer to bid for your rice.
No.
Victoria, every cent I have in the world, my house, my land, everything I own is tied up in this deal.
That was a mistake.
All right. All right. So you won't or you can't sell me your rice. I don't understand your position, morally or otherwise, but all right, I accept it. Sell your rice to the Chinese League, but will you hold up on the deal for just a few days? Will you do that for me, please?
Just long enough for you to make your killing?
I'm sorry, Warren.
All right. Just remember, anything that happens now, you forced me.
Is that a threat, Warren?
No. I'm sorry. I know what came over me. Forgive me, Victoria?
Of course.
I'd better go. Jared, about the horse, tell Heath to hold up on it for a few days. Why are you staring at me? Look as though you thought this was my fault. Did my best.
Yes, of course.
What do you expect me to do, hold a gun to their heads? Sorry. Didn't mean to shout. We could have sold our rice 3 days ago and made a fair profit. Now, when those Barkley ships dock and the rice goes on the open market, I warned you, Janet, if this thing backfired, it could cost you the clothes off your back.
Naked into the world I came, and naked I'll leave if need be. When I met you, I had nothing. I was just a missionary's daughter in a small Chinese village.
I remember. One of the first things I noticed about you was your wonderful smile.
Oh, yes? Maybe it was my early training. If your mission in life is to convert, you'd better act happy. Who wants to convert to misery? That was another time, another place. You opened my eyes to the world. And when I saw it, I wanted it.
We've had enough now, though, haven't we?
But you said that if we could pull this off, we'd be rich. Richer than the Barkleys. I'd be richer than Victoria.
That was before I spoke to the Barkleys, and they turned us down.
So now we just roll over and play dead, is that it? If Victoria were one of my oldest friends, I'd have found a way to make her cooperate.
You don't know her. Matter of fact, I should have known better than to even ask.
Because of her innate decency, her morality, her breeding. She'd never stoop to such a scheme.
Yeah. That's the way you want to put it?
I'm going for a ride in the buggy.
Oh, come on.
No, you stay here. I want to think a few things through.
Kay. You mind sitting in here and talking to me for a few minutes? You pad around here, silent and inscrutable, hearing everything, I'm sure. Saying nothing. She can be pretty hard at times, can't she?
I'm very sorry.
Oh, take off the mask, Key. You know who I'm talking about. You know her better than I'll ever know her. Your mistress.
She has been very good to me. And her father, he was a prince amongst men, a god.
What was she like as a little girl?
She was very beautiful, as she is now.
I know that. I mean, underneath.
She's a very good person, my mistress. She has been a good friend.
If for some reason it would pay her to be an enemy, she could be quite a hunk of enemy, couldn't she?
I'm sorry. I do not understand.
Thanks, Key. Been very illuminating. No. Oh, please. No. Oh, no. Please. Oh, please.
Warren. Warren. Warren, darling. You're having a nightmare.
Oh. I dreamed you'd left me.
Now, why would I want to do a thing like that?
So much less than what you expected. Less than what I promised you. Janet, even if we do lose everything, I can still start over again. I'm still young.
If we had to, I would, and gladly. Why start over again when we're close? So close. Warren, have I been a good wife to you?
My darling, I can only tell you. When Edith died, I almost died too. And then meeting you, loving you, it's like being born again into a world I never even dreamed about.
It can be better when we have the Barkley rice.
I told you, there's no way.
Warren, there is a way. Trust me, darling, I'm your wife. Your future is my future. It took boldness to try to corner the rice market. I loved you for that. That's the only way to get anything in this world is to be bold. The lion shall inherit the earth, not the meek. Warren, we can't stop now. We have to take the next step.
There is no next step. We gambled and we lost.
Trust me, darling. Trust me.
Understand we got a letter from Audrey today.
Mm-hmm.
Would you mind telling us how she's doing?
Fine, just fine.
Lots of beaux dancing up a storm?
Mm-hmm.
Probably come home engaged to some slick San Franciscan?
Probably.
How's her broken leg coming along?
Fine, just... I'm sorry.
You've been miles away.
Well, a few. Actually, I was thinking about Warren. That was frightening.
Well, when you try and corner the rice markets, you're playing for big stakes.
Gamble big, you gotta be prepared to lose big.
Sorry to come busting in, but we got a fire.
Fire? Where?
South section.
How many men you got up there?
About a dozen.
Better pull some men in off that night herd. Come on.
Bob, how did it start?
There was no accident, Mrs. Barkley. We found a drum of kerosene and a tongue hatchet. Excuse me.
Who is it?
I still say it doesn't make any sense. Why would the Tong start the fire when I already told them that I'd sell Mike Chang the rice?
2 days worth of smoke. You two argue it out. I'm gonna take a bath.
Well, maybe they didn't believe you. Maybe they don't trust Mike Chang. Anyway, who says anything they do has to make sense? Jared, they ruined $1,000 worth of crops, and they're gonna pay for it.
If we can prove they did it.
Prove it. Wouldn't you call a drum of kerosene and a tong hatchet proof?
Left a little conveniently, Nick. Too conveniently.
Jared, Nick.
You wait here, Jared. I'll see if it's all right. Come on.
Come in.
Can you, Mr. Jared Barkley?
My pleasure, Mr. Barkley. Yes, Mr. Barkley. This bag of decaying flesh is the leader of the terrifying Tom. I do not look very dangerous, do I? Perhaps Mr. Barkley would like a pot of tea.
Mr. Barkley would like only one thing. To know where you're holding my mother.
Your mother?
She disappeared last night while we were fighting the fire you started.
We started no fire on your property, Mr. Barkley. You are our friend, or so our mutual friend, Mr. Chang, tells us.
I consider myself a friend of the Chinese people, but believe me, I'm no friend of the Tong.
The terrorist Tom. The bloodthirsty Tom. I concede it, Mr. Barkley. At times, we are forced to violence. Forced by those whites who will not allow for change, who will not allow our people to better themselves peacefully. There are people who cannot move but by force. We will move them. But not you, Mr. Barkley. To our friends, we offer our friendship. And if needed, our help. I'm sorry to hear about your mother, Mr. Barkley. But she is not a guest in the house of Chen Yu.
Let go!
Nick, you were supposed to stay away from her.
I know what I was supposed to do.
Come busting in. Nick, I don't think she's here.
You don't
Now, just
think
trust
she's...
me. My apologies. Come on, let's get out of here. Hello, Janet.
I came out just as soon as I'd heard what happened. Oh, Jared, it's awful, just awful.
Yes.
What time did it happen? We left here last night before midnight.
You and Warren were here last night?
As soon as we heard about the fire, naturally, we rode out to see if we could do anything to help. You and the boys had already left, so we kept Victoria company till, I'd say about 10 or 11 o'clock. Oh, Jared, it's the Tong. Look, have their leader arrested. Charge him with murder if Victoria isn't returned within 24 hours.
But it doesn't make any sense. They wouldn't have any reason to kidnap her. They already knew they could have our rice.
You mean they knew they couldn't have it?
What do you mean by that?
Jared, when we arrived last night, your mother invited us upstairs. In the distance, we could see the fire burning. She said to Warren, I'd as soon those 2 ships with all the rice in them sunk at sea as sell it to them.
She said that?
She was angry. As angry as I've ever seen her, and with justification. Anyway, she asked Warren to draw up an informal contract, which she signed, selling us your 2 shiploads of rice.
The Tong wouldn't have any way of knowing about that.
Your mother must have said something.
Where is that contract? I'd like to see it.
Well, right now, it's with Warren in San Francisco.
San Francisco?
Naturally, Warren had to begin making arrangements to dispose of the rice. Those ships arrive in a day or 2, don't they?
Yes, yes.
Jared, I beg you. The Tong decided to get back at you.
Well, maybe I'll talk to the sheriff when he gets back.
You know, if there's anything I can do, anything. You know I speak Chinese.
Yes, I know.
And Key, perhaps he could be of some help. You know, he's had some experience with the Tong.
Yes, but at the moment, there's nothing.
Jared, she may still be alive. Don't wait too long, I beg you. Let's go, Key.
Warren. What happened?
There. No, it's all right. It's all right.
How did I get here?
Don't you remember anything?
Well, I remember hearing a sound at the door, and then someone came in, and a handkerchief. They put a handkerchief...
Soaked in chloroform. We smelled it when we found you. But you're safe here. Tong can't touch you here.
Tong?
Yes, we saw them as we rode up. It's a good thing we came when we did, too. I've no doubt they'd have... You were unconscious on the bedroom floor. We brought you here. Now, you've got to make your stand, Victoria. You can't do business with terrorism. If they can blackmail you into giving them or selling them your rice, none of us is safe. I've written up this informal agreement between us, pledging your rice to me. It's very informal. It just gives me the right to purchase.
Oh, Warren, I can't sign that.
You must. Well, not for my sake, but to prove that we live in a country where terror does not rule.
Well, I can't sign that without first talking to Jared. You see, we've pledged our rice to Mike Chang.
Yes, to the Sanctified Chinese League. import opium, sell their women into prostitution,
That's not true.
who pretend to oppose the Tong while secretly financing it?
Well, you proved that to my satisfaction and Jared's.
Oh, Mike Chang has manipulated and sweet-talked Jared to the point where Jared couldn't possibly judge the truth.
Then I'll judge the truth, but from facts, not from innuendo and slander.
Now, I respect your motives, Victoria. You're concerned about the plight of the poor Chinese peasant. Well, that's very laudable. That's Christian. You consider the poor Chinese peasant objective, you know. While they work as coolies and take jobs away from white laborers. That cup of rice you give them comes out of the mouth of people like us, our kind.
Oh, you can't possibly believe that.
Well, they tried to murder you. Janet and I saved your life. Huh, you start with that. And figure whether you owe your rice to them or to me. Now, you sign this, and then I'll take you home.
No, you take me home first, and then...
I can't do that, Victoria.
What do you mean you can't do it?
Now, please, Victoria, I beg, if you sign
Let
this,
me
please.
go!
Janet.
She'll be all right. Take her downstairs.
No, Janet, no.
Put her in the storeroom.
Jared!
Any luck?
Well, we got 4 posses looking. We're going to keep looking.
Where's he?
He took some men up to Gold Town to check out those abandoned mines. I don't suppose anyone's gotten in touch with you yet.
No, nobody.
No, she's been kidnapped. We sure got a ransom note by this time. I still say it points to the Tong.
Maybe, Nick. Maybe. But I had a little visit from Janet Masters this afternoon.
Oh, yeah? What about?
Well, she said that Mother finally decided to sell Warren the rice.
What?
Yeah, claimed she was so angry over the Tong setting the fire that she was going to pay him back. Pay him back by punishing a lot of innocent Chinese.
Now, that doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't. That's what started me thinking. Nick, if you were Warren Masters, you saw a whole life's dream, a fortune, going down the drain. You were desperate because somebody wouldn't give you something you needed. What would you do?
3 days now, Janet.
I'm aware of that, Warren.
Without food, without water, we'll kill her.
Not before she signs that contract.
I don't want to be a murderer, Janet. Don't make me part of a murder.
When we took her, you knew it wouldn't be easy.
I didn't think it would come to this. Thought we could persuade her.
Well, it's come to this.
It's not too late. We can let her go.
You're soft, Warren. Inside. You never had to fight for anything, not even to stay alive.
The night they came to dinner and she had a headache, you put her to sleep, you hypnotized her.
When she woke up, the headache was gone. That would be easy. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Warren? Unfortunately, even hypnotized people won't do things against their will. And Victoria doesn't want to sign that contract.
Try, please.
It won't work. But everyone has a breaking point. We'll find Victoria's.
Victoria? Sorry Janet did that. Why are you so unreasonable?
Warren, I can't believe this is happening. I simply can't believe it is. We've been friends for so long.
Victoria, sign this paper.
If you need money, we'll lend it to you.
Sign it before it's too late.
Too late.
Before Janet takes over. Remember when you were at our house? She put you to sleep. She took away your headache. Well, Janet can do things like that. She has the power to heal or to hurt, and she can hurt you. She can torture you in ways that you and I couldn't even imagine.
Then you take me out of here now.
I can't do that. Please sign this paper. Sign it now, or we'll both be sorry.
Well?
She's not going to sign, Janet.
I thought you might like a drink of water. Victoria, you're all but perishing for a drink of water and some food. So let's be reasonable. I hate being cruel. Why don't you give in, Victoria? This is insane.
It is, isn't it? Janet, I think I understand the pressure you and Warren are under. I can understand. And I can forget. We all can forget this ever happened. If you'll just untie me and let me go home.
Nothing would make me happier. And it will be done as soon as you sign that paper.
No, I can't sign.
You are a stubborn woman. Very well, then. I'll leave this glass of water right there. And we'll give you just a little more time to think this over. All right, Key. That should hurry your thinking a little. All right, Warren, let's go. Wake up, Victoria. You're not going to sleep, Victoria. Not while you're here. Does the light bother you? I saw it used often by the terrorists in China. Simple but effective. Particularly when a person is hungry and thirsty. The mind begins to lose its hold. Would you like to do something for me, Victoria? We could notify your family, have them take you home. Would you like that, Victoria? I brought this whip down with me. I hoped I wouldn't have to use it. I hoped that by now you'd see how useless it is to prolong this, how unnecessary. Can't hold out forever, you know. A day or two more and you'll start to lose all reason. You'll beg me to let you sign it. So why not give in now? Say something. Do you want to suffer? Say something. Is that what you want? Mm. And all you have to do is to sign that paper. You will do that, won't you, Victoria?
Yes, I'll sign. I'll sign. Please. Oh, please, untie me, please.
Victoria, I'm so glad. So very glad.
Oh.
There.
Stop it! Stop it, you'll kill her! I said stop it!
I thought I'd broken her. She fooled me. But she won't fool me again. Take her downstairs.
What do you want? What do you want?
We'd like to see Mrs. Masters.
Out here.
What do you mean she's not here? It's after midnight.
Do not know.
What are you so nervous about?
It's late. You woke me up. Come back tomorrow, please. I know nothing. Nothing.
You know nothing about what?
Nothing about this matter. Nothing about this rice and your mother's disappearance. I know nothing.
Now, Key, we're old friends with your mistress, good friends. She told us that you'd help us in any way you can.
We just want you to answer a few questions. That shouldn't be too much to ask now, should it, Key?
I want you to understand something else. Our mother's life may be at stake.
I said I know nothing about your mother. You go see the Tong.
We've already been there. Now, if you don't care about our mother's life, you think about your people, Key. What'll happen to them if the Masters buy up all the rice?
A lot of them could starve.
But the Masters are good people.
Key, if you know anything, you just best tell us.
I cannot. I know nothing. I said I know nothing. I don't care what you do.
Key! Nick. Won't do any good.
I said nothing.
We heard.
You said nothing and told them everything.
Go on to your room, Key.
Please forgive.
Go on.
Janet, I know those boys, and they'll be back.
Let them.
Let them.
When they come back, if they come back, it will all be settled.
You're sure of that?
I'm sure of that.
Wish you could convince her. Why doesn't she give up?
She will.
Days.
Sit down.
I can't sit down.
Just a little more time, Warren. Try to be a man for just a little longer.
Janet, if she signs,
You mean when she signs?
can we just let her go?
Yes. We'll just make her promise not to tell her sons what happened, not to tell the law. You know perfectly well we can't let her go. Victoria knows it, too. That's why she's fighting so hard.
dreamed it would come to this.
You knew all along it would come to this. There was no other way. You just didn't have the courage to face it. Don't worry. I'll take care of everything.
How?
I said I'd take care.
Tell me how.
Very well. You can rest easy. Victoria's tragic death will be relatively painless. She'll be found near the house of the Tong, found dead. The smell of an ancient oriental poison on her lips.
Key was lying, you know that.
I know it.
What the devil are we doing here in this office, then?
Waiting, Nick. Just waiting. Have a drink.
Waiting for what? I'll tell you something. We never should have left that house. We should have...
What? Tried to beat the truth out of Key? That wouldn't have worked, and you know it.
It would have been worth a try.
We haven't given up. All I'm waiting for is a chance to get back into that house without being seen.
You think they're holding Mother there?
I'd just like to have a little look around.
All right. If it doesn't work, I'm going after Key. God pity him if he doesn't come up with the right answers.
Victoria, soon. Just as soon as you sign that paper, Warren will come downstairs and he'll take you home. Home to sleep in your own bed. All this will be a bad dream, nothing more.
I beg you, turn off the light, please.
I will. But first things first.
Help me, please. I'll do anything. I'll sign anything. Just help me, please.
There's the pencil and the paper waiting. And this time there'll be no tricks. Oh.
Are you all right?
Yes,
What happened?
Nick, get a doctor quickly.
All right.
It's all right, Janet. It's all right, Janet.
She's dead, Warren.
No, she's not dead. She'll be all right.
Janet. Janet, darling. Janet. Janet.
Well, well. I'd say she looks just about as good as new, wouldn't you, Nick?
Bet she's got some kind of secret.
No secret. Just the love of my family. Jared, have you seen Warren?
Yes. He'll stand trial next week. I know how you feel. You think he's suffered enough. But you've got to understand, he not only committed a crime against you, he committed a crime against the state.
Isn't there anything you can do?
Well, I can ask the prosecuting attorney for leniency and hope that he listens. But that's all.
Oh, I'll get it. Oh, Mike, come on in. Look who's here.
Well, why isn't everyone dressed and ready to go?
Where?
Dressed for what?
We're celebrating Chinese New Year. You're guests of honor. Where's Heath?
Well, he's out on the range, isn't he?
Get him and then get going, all of you. That's an order.
Oh, wait a minute, Mike. Didn't we celebrate Chinese New Year's last month?
That was last month. Today, we're celebrating the very grateful purchase of 2 boatloads of rice. That's a New Year's gift for many of my people.
Well, how shall we dress?
Strictly for pleasure. And pleasure, I promise you.
Oh, really?
Succulent Chinese sweetmeats, dancing in the streets, spinning pinwheels of light to color the sky a rainbow, fireworks.
Oh, well, do you mind if I skip the fireworks?
Running sweat drips like tears. Each step forward outstripping my fears. Skyscrapers looming, they've been there for years. But today's the day I disappear. Breaking the chains with every stride. Feel the rhythm of hope deep inside. No looking back, tide's about to turn. I'm racing for a life where passion burns. Yo, it's a dash or race out of this maze. Feet on the pavement, hearts ablaze. Got my mind on the exit, no time to phase. Escape the routine, these endless days. Chasing freedom like it's just a breath away. Dodging shadows.
Unquestionably bona fide. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Small investment for a large fortune. Sign right here, sir. I'm afraid, Sonny, you're not of age.
Just where do you think you're going?
I got a new business. Sawdust.
Sawdust?
For the saloon floor. They pay a nickel a bag.
Hey, well, I thought we agreed you weren't going to hang around the saloon.
I ain't hanging around, Pa. I'm delivering.
Well, you just deliver right back to the carpenter shop.
But, Pa, I just swapped for this route. Gave Tommy Davis 6 firewood customers for the silver slipper and the bucket of blood.
No saloons, Daniel. You just stick to selling frog legs to the cafe.
Yes, sir. Sure cuts down my profits.
We told you before.
Get out.
Oh, no.
You won't be needing these supplies because you're leaving.
Stay here, Daniel.
Getting out like I told you. I'm telling you two for the last time. Get off of that claim you're working or we'll drive you off.
What's the trouble, Cusack?
We're trying to get rid of these scavengers. They're working that old mine near the Glover diggings.
We're not scavengers. The mine is ours.
That's right. They staked a claim 3 years ago when the mine was abandoned.
Scavenger claims don't count in my book.
They count in the town book. That's all I'm interested in.
You better take that up with Mr. Glover, Sheriff. He's the one that wants them off.
It's their mine, and they stay. You bother them again, Cusack, and I'll jail you.
Okay, Sheriff. But like I said, you better take it up with Mr. Glover. We don't give the orders.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I'll help you with this. I thought I told you to stay put.
I was just listening, Pa.
You're always just where you can get hurt. Don't I have enough worries?
Mr. Glover's the most important man in town. He ain't gonna like you going against him, Pa.
I don't expect him to.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Whatever I do, I don't want you mixing in. It's too dangerous.
Yes, sir. There sure is gonna be a lot of trouble.
The Glover house, please.
Welcome back to Glover House, Mr. Barkley.
Thank you, Charles.
It's good to see you looking so well. It's been a long time.
Almost 6 years. You know, the last time I came through that door, little Janice was sliding down that banister at me.
She's quite a young lady now.
I'll bet she is.
You wouldn't recognize her.
Jared, my boy. Hello, Sidney.
How are you? It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. I've been looking forward to it.
Charles, would you put Mr. Barkley's things in the east wing, please?
Yes, sir.
Come inside, Jared. I've got a bottle of champagne waiting.
Good.
Yeah, this merger calls for celebration.
That it does.
Family well?
Oh, they're fine. Just fine, Sidney.
Merger papers all in order?
I've got them right in here and ready to be signed.
Good.
Can that possibly be Janice?
Yes. Had it painted 3 months ago, just before she went back east to finishing school. Beautiful, isn't she?
She certainly is. It's kind of hard to believe that that's the same little girl who used to beg me for ice cream.
Sometimes I wish she were still that same little girl. She's all I've got, Jared. I don't mind admitting this house is just a bit lonesome without her.
I could imagine it is.
The merger of the Barkley Glover silver mines.
To the merger.
Come in. Yes, Charles, what is it?
Sheriff Barrett is here to see you, sir. He says it's important.
The sheriff?
Yes, sir.
You mind, Jared?
No, not at all.
All right, Charles, have him come in.
Yes, sir.
You have a sheriff here now, huh? The last time I was here, all you had was a miner's court.
Yes, we hired him 3 years ago. Town's been growing so fast, we had to get some regular protection, especially for the property owners. Afternoon, Sheriff.
Afternoon, Mr. Glover. Sorry to bother you.
Well, that's all right. Gives me a chance to thank you for catching those night riders last week. They've been getting away with a lot of ore.
No thanks necessary.
This is Mr. Barkley. Jared, Dave Barrett.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff.
Same here. Barkley mine?
That's right.
Well, Sheriff, what can I do for you?
It's about that old mine between your claim and the Barkley diggings.
The one those Chinese are working?
Mm-hmm.
What about it?
2 of your men threatened them, told them to get off. They said they were acting under your orders.
Yes, that's right. We need that old mine. You see, the Barkleys and I are merging. We're planning to extend those tunnels and join our main shafts.
You can't do that. That mine was abandoned because the ore was low grade, left open to scavengers.
Temporarily, yes. But now we need it again.
The mine belongs to Wong Lo.
This must be some kind of a joke, Sheriff. What is the law on that point, Jared?
Well, most mining laws state that temporarily means 14 days. After that, the shaft is open for reclaiming by anyone.
But my crew dug that tunnel.
Unfortunately, Sidney, that doesn't have any bearing.
Wong Lo and his wife have been working that mine for 3 years. Their claim is on the town books. They've got a right to stay there.
A right? There wouldn't be any tunnel if I hadn't opened it up. And there won't be any town if those mines shut down.
What do you mean, shut down?
You see, Sheriff, our tunnels are getting so deep that we can't work them anymore without extra ventilation. We need that old mine for an air shaft so we can continue to use them.
Those diggings are the biggest in the lode. If they shut down, it'll bankrupt hundreds of people. There won't be any Rimfire. Don't you understand, Sheriff?
Of course I understand. But you'll have to find some other way to keep them open. You just can't take Wong Lo's claim.
You mean you would let this town die for a scavenger? Whose side are you on, Sheriff?
When it's night riders, I'm on your side. When it's claim jumping, I'm with Wong Lo.
Now, wait a minute, Sheriff. We don't have any intentions of breaking the law. Look, Sidney, as long as this man has a legal claim, why don't we simply make him an offer and buy him out?
Jared, I'm not much for buying what already belongs to me.
I can understand that. But legally, there's no choice.
You sure of that?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right. If it'll save trouble, go ahead and make him an offer. But if he won't sell...
Oh, maybe we won't have to cross that bridge.
I hope not, Mr. Barkley. Because if you do, I'll be in the middle of it.
Good morning. You are Wong Lo? My name is Jared Barkley. I'm one of the owners of the Barkley mine.
I have heard. Soon you will join it to the mine of Glover?
That's right. As a matter of fact, that's what I came to talk to you about.
Have you come with threats, Mr. Barkley?
I don't believe in threats, Wong Lo. I've come to make you an offer.
An offer?
Mr. Glover and I would like to buy you a mine.
You will buy what you tried to take?
That was a mistake that I had no part of, Wong Lo. We'll give you a fair price, whatever you think your mine is worth.
Glover deals in blows. You in words. Neither will drive me up, Mr. Barkley. The mine is not for sale.
Now, wait a minute, Wong Lo. This is an honest offer. I've come in friendship. You must believe that.
The message of the hawk is seldom brought by a dove, Mr. Barkley.
Food's ready, Pa.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Daniel. Boy, I'm hungry as a prospector's mule. What are we having?
Rabbit stew.
Again?
Well, you like it, don't you?
Well, sure, but 3 times in a row?
What's the matter with that?
Well, you ever thought of having beef stew or chicken?
Chickens cost too much. Besides, I got the rabbits free.
Free?
Sure, trapped 'em.
Well, I hope you sure don't go to trapping bear. You know, you shouldn't be cooking anyway. You know where you should be? In school.
In school? But there ain't one. Anyhow, what for?
You're going on 11 years old now, Daniel. It's time you learn something besides mines and saloons.
You're teaching me, ain't you? I do sums every day.
Yeah, but sums and reading aren't enough. You need geography and history and things that take a real teacher.
What do you mean? You're a real teacher.
No, I mean somebody that studied it. Like they have in the big schools back east. Or in Stockton.
I can't go clear to Stockton just to go to school. Who'd cook for you?
Well, I'd eat at the cafe.
Their food's no good.
I get used to it. Got used to rabbit stew, didn't I?
I better wait till we get a school here. If I go to Stockton, it'll ruin my frog business.
Sheriff?
Oh, in here, Mr. Barkley.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt your meal.
Oh, that's all right. Mr. Barkley, it's my son, Daniel.
Hello, Daniel. I'm pleased to meet you.
Yes, sir. Me too.
What can I do for you?
I've come to talk to you about Wong Lo.
Have you seen him yet?
Yes, I've seen him, but I didn't get very far with him. He's not exactly what I'd call friendly.
Well, that's because folks have been so mean to him and his wife. He's really nice once you know him. He gives us kids rice cakes and paper...
Daniel?
Oh, yes, sir. I forgot.
Why don't we talk in the office?
Sheriff, how well do you know Wong Lo?
Line of duty, mainly. Why?
Well, do you think that if you went out with me to that mine, you could get him to just listen?
Maybe. But I'm not going back out there with you, Mr. Barkley. If he doesn't want to sell, that's his business.
I understand that, Sheriff. I just want him to understand how important that mine is to this town.
I still don't think I should interfere.
I'm not asking you to interfere. I just want him to hear me out.
It's too much like forcing him, Mr. Barkley. Wong's had enough of that.
All right, Sheriff. I'll go out and try to talk to him again by myself. But I think you're making a mistake.
Sure hope Wong listens to him, Pa.
Hmm?
Because if he don't listen, Mr. Glover's gonna act. And somebody's liable to get hurt.
That's another thing they teach you in school, Daniel. Not to listen in on other people's conversations. Mr. Barkley? I've changed my mind. I'm coming with you.
I appreciate that, Sheriff.
Sheriff, we are very grateful. Very grateful.
Yes. We thank you. And you also, Mr. Barkley.
Pleasure to be of service.
That thing's too heavy to move by hand, Wong. You ought to get yourself a mule.
Mules are expensive, Sheriff. When a man has no money, he must depend upon his own strength.
Yeah, well, money's what we've come to talk to you about. Mr. Barkley wants to talk to you some more.
About selling the mine?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to take sides in this thing, Wong. What you do is your own business. But that offer that Mr. Barkley made you before it's important for a lot of reasons. I wish you'd listen to him before you make up your mind.
All I want you to do is hear me out, Wong Lo.
My husband, they have been kind. It will do no harm just to listen to them.
Very well. Since you think it is best, I will listen.
Wong Lo, do you know what a choke tunnel is?
It is very deep and very hot.
That's exactly right. So deep and so hot that men can't work down there. Well, the Barkley tunnels are almost that deep right now, and the vein is still descending. The Glover mine is in the same condition.
Now, you know how much those shifts are changing? Whistles blowing all day long. Men can't stand it down there more than an hour at a time.
We need your claim so that we can dig cross tunnels for more ventilation.
Ling and I need it also, Mr. Barkley, to make a living.
I can understand that. But I can guarantee you a substantial price for it so you can buy another business.
Where, Mr. Barkley?
Here, anywhere you want. It'll be a handsome profit, I promise you.
And if somebody decides they want that business, will we be asked to sell it also? When Lynn and I came here 3 years ago, we only had a cart and sapling. We found a tunnel, planted the sapling. Now we have a mine and a fine tree of heaven. It is difficult to put down roots, then leave them, Mr. Barkley.
It's difficult to ask you to, believe me. But it's not just for company profits. It's for everybody in the town.
Ling and I are not treated like everybody. Would like to help you, but we need roots. We cannot sell the mine. The day passes. We must complete our work.
I could have told you you'd be wasting your time. All those scavengers understand is force. But don't worry. They'll get out.
Not that way. We'll just have to find some other way to ventilate those tunnels.
There is no other way. I've already talked to the best mining engineers.
Well, I'm sorry, Sidney. I cannot agree to force.
All right. Then find some legal way. Some loophole. Don't tell me you're squeamish about loopholes, too.
Yes, I am, when they involve human rights.
Now, Jared, this is no time to shilly-shally. There's too much at stake.
I couldn't agree with you more.
All right. The circuit judge will be here tomorrow. We'll let him settle it. Incidentally, he's an old friend of mine. I'll see you at dinner.
Well, it's got to be there somewhere, Judge Power. We know the claim was registered.
Oh, yes, here it is. Hello? Ling? I thought you said the name is Wang.
That's his wife. He registered it on Chinese New Year's. Put it in her name as sort of a gift. Actually, it belongs to both of them.
I see.
Those books were drawn up by a bunch of miners, Nathan, when Rimfire was just a camp.
The old miners' regulations are as valid as law, Sidney, and the state recognizes them as such, even now that you're incorporated as a district. I thought you said these people have been working this mine for 3 years.
They have?
According to the date here, they didn't register their claim until 6 months ago.
Wong doesn't know much about our laws, Judge. It took him a while to find out about staking claims.
Well, that's your loophole, Sidney. Under the State Exclusion Acts, aliens can't own property even when it's registered according to local mining laws. The acts went through last year, a couple of months before this claim was entered.
Well, Jared,
That should simplify things.
I'm surprised you didn't check that date, Mr. Barkley. As a lawyer, you should be familiar with these new acts.
I am, Judge, thoroughly. I lobbied against them. How soon can we evict them, Nathan?
48 hours. All you have to do is re-register your previous claim.
All right, Sheriff. Notify them.
Is that a court order, Judge Power?
Yes, Sheriff.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Hello, Daniel.
Hello, Mr. Barkley. Is this the library?
That's right.
Sure is big.
Come on in.
I'm looking for Mr. Glover. The cook said he was here.
Well, he was, but he had to go into town, take care of some business. He should be back in a couple of hours. Is there something I can do for you?
Will you give him a message?
Sure will.
Tell him that I won't be delivering his firewood anymore.
It's firewood.
He's on my roof. I bring it every day. Nickel low. Made a deal with his cook a long time ago.
Oh.
And you probably don't know it, but I've been delivering his frog legs. I'll have to get one of the other kids for that, too.
I see. Won't that put quite a dent in your business? Mr. Glover must be one of your best customers.
Yes, sir. But I still won't be delivering them. Even if the other kids don't bring fresh ones and he gets sick on them.
Why is that, Daniel? Because of Wong Lo?
Wong Lo and Pa both.
You want me to tell him that, too?
Yes, sir. Tell him everything.
Daniel, there's something I'd very much like you to understand. I don't like this business any better than you do.
Mr. Glover likes it, and you're merging with him.
When I started that merger, I didn't know Wong Lo or anyone else would be affected. If I had any choice, he wouldn't be now. But I can't help it, Daniel. You see, that old mine belongs to Mr. Glover, so he has the right to do anything he wants to with it. That's the law.
I don't care if it is the law. It's wrong.
No, Daniel, it's not wrong. It's... Well, you see, the law isn't perfect. It can't cover everything.
That mine's all Wong Lo has. Don't Mr. Glover care about anybody but himself?
Of course he does. It's just that...
He sure wanted Pa to care all right when he and that committee met.
What committee?
After Ma died, Pa decided that we was going back to Philadelphia to live. Then Mr. Glover and the committee came and said that the town needed protection. Pa was the best person for the job. And everybody realized it. Because winning the Medal of Honor during the war proved that he wasn't afraid of nothing.
Your Pa won the Medal of Honor?
Yes, sir.
He's right.
Then why ain't it protecting Wong Lo?
Well, it's like I said, Daniel. The law's not perfect. In this case, it favors Mr. Glover over Wong Lo.
What good is it if it favors one man over another? If it don't cover what's right? What good's Pa being a sheriff? Or you being a lawyer? What good is it?
Come here, Daniel. Sit down. You see, the law tries to be just. But if it isn't, it's usually because the people involved don't care enough to change it.
You're involved, Mr. Barkley. Can't you help some way?
I wish I could. But I'm sworn to uphold the law as it stands, just like your pa, whether I like it or not.
Well, anyhow, tell Mr. Glover about the deliveries. Will you, sir?
It doesn't belong to you.
Doesn't belong to us. But it is written in the book like all the others.
It was written too late. They passed some new laws. Only citizens can own property.
This is true, Sheriff? Really true? Yes, it must be so. Otherwise, you would not say it. The tree has taken root, but we have not. It is always so, Sheriff. Ling was born in this country, and I have spent most of my life here. But we are driven from place to place, like leaves in the seasonal winds.
What was that you said about Ling? That she was born here?
In San Francisco. Her mother was a servant in a rich house.
Whose house? What's the name?
Hamilton. Donald Hamilton.
What does this mean? Why?
You stay right here, Wong, though. Understand? Stay right here till I get back.
Nevertheless, you were ordered to evict those people, not to question.
I can't evict them. Ling Han is an American citizen.
What? I don't believe it. They'd say anything to keep that claim.
She was born in San Francisco, a few months after her mother went to work for the Hamilton family.
Do you have proof of that?
Dates all filed in the city record building. Here's a telegraph. Donald Hamilton verifying it.
Well, that's good enough for me. I know Hamilton. They wouldn't verify anything that isn't true. So, since Ling is a citizen, that settles that. Not for me, it doesn't. My crew dug that tunnel. And I'm not giving it up for any pair of scavengers. I don't care where they were born. Sheriff, Judge Power issued an order evicting those people. I demand you carry out that order.
I can't. Ling owns that mine legal and clear.
All right, Sheriff. If they're not out by the specified time, my men will do it for you.
They can try. They'll come up against me and my deputies.
Very well, Sheriff. If that's the way you want it.
It's not the way I want it. It's the way it is.
Sidney, I've already told you I'll have no part of this.
I don't understand here, Jared. What is it? You feel you owe these people something because you have more than they do? Is that it?
It's much simpler than that. I have respect for the law.
Oh, fiddlesticks. You may be willing to close down your tunnels, but I'm not going to close down mine. Merger or no merger.
Then there's no point in staying here any longer.
No, there isn't. Why don't you just go?
Boys.
How are you, Sheriff?
Hi, Sheriff.
I'm looking for deputies. Anybody got time to help?
What's the job?
Protecting a mine.
You mean protecting scavengers, don't you, Dave?
Pays 50 cents a day.
They ain't worth 5 a day.
That's right.
I'm not looking for opinions. I'm offering jobs. You want to work or not?
I'll work, but not for any scavengers.
Same here. Dave, that was Glover's mine in the first place. He wants it back. I figure he's got a right.
Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna side with scavengers, Sheriff.
They go for all of you?
That he does.
Thanks anyway.
Obeying the law doesn't seem to be too popular around here, Sheriff.
I thought Mr. Glover's guests did all their drinking in his drawing room, Mr. Barkley.
It seems I'm not Mr. Glover's guest anymore. We had a little difference of opinion.
Oh?
Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to agree with some of my convictions.
Which are?
Similar to yours, apparently.
What about the merger?
That's off, too.
Pa! Pa, they've got
got him? What do you mean?
There's a fight down at the mine.
Go home, Daniel.
Please don't. Let him go, please. Let him go, please. Please don't. Please don't. Oh, please!
Hold it, Cusack. I said hold it!
Thank fortune you've come, Sheriff.
Shut up! You stay out of this.
I'll stay out of nothing, Cusack. Now, you let that man... You did that?
Who do you think did it?
It's not as it seems, Sheriff. They came here, this one and the other one. They told us we must leave, and when we refused, the other one took Ling and began to beat her. And I couldn't stand it. My fingers found the axe, and I just couldn't stand it.
It was done for me. Sheriff, for me.
Don't cry, Ling. Afterwards, the others came with a rope.
He's lying. That murdering devil killed Pete in cold blood.
It was for me. See how they beat me?
Let him down.
He killed Pete. We're gonna string him up.
No. I'm holding him for the U.S. Marshal, Cusack. He's going to Stockton for trial. Now, for the last time, let him down.
Drop it.
All right, clear out.
We're gonna come and get him back. He ain't gonna leave town alive.
He is if I have anything to do with it. You know, you may change my mind about you. Everything all right, Jed?
So far. Telegram get through all right?
Yeah. Marshal and his deputies will be here in a couple of hours.
That's good.
You got back quick, Pa. Did you get an answer from the marshal?
I'm dog-tired, Daniel. How about some coffee?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask a favor of you, Jared.
A favor? Anything I can do.
What's about Daniel? It's something I've worried about for a long time. Something I know his mother would have worried about if she was still alive.
I don't imagine it's been easy trying to raise a boy alone.
No, it hasn't. This town doesn't help either. You've seen what it's like, Jared, full of drifters, drunks, not even a school. There's no place for a boy to grow up.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. A lot of good men have come out of towns just like this one.
Yeah, but most of them had two parents. Daniel's only got one. I can't even give him security. Sheriff lives from day to day, you know that.
You know, it's a funny thing. Most of the kids I've seen don't seem to give a hoot about security, just as long as they have love.
He's got that. All I can give. But if I should happen to get killed all of a sudden, he won't have that. He won't have anything. There's a boarding school in Stockton. He can get an education. Be able to take care of himself no matter what happens.
I know it very well. The Stockton Boys' School.
Yeah. Well, I've written to him, taken care of all the details. They say that Daniel can enter any time. Jared, your stage leaves in an hour. I've saved the tuition. I'd appreciate it if you'd take him to Stockton with you and enter him.
You told him about this?
No, not yet.
It's a little sudden, isn't it? From what I've seen, it's going to tear his insides out.
What do you think it's doing to me? If I don't send him quick, I'll lose my nerve.
Look, Dave, why don't you think it over a little longer? This town's growing every day. There's bound to be a good school here soon.
I've thought about all that, Jared. It doesn't change anything. I'm still a sheriff, a man with a gun in his belly all the time. If that gun goes off, I don't want my son to see it.
All right. I'll take him. But not on the next stage. I'm going to stay till that marshal gets here.
But I don't want you to stay. If those miners start trouble...
If they do, you're going to need an extra gun. And badly.
All right. I better go talk to Daniel. Coffee ready, Daniel?
Just about. And I heated some stew. Where's Mr. Barkley?
He's keeping watch.
Should I take him some stew?
Sit down a minute, Daniel. I want to talk to you about something. Yeah. You remember how it was 3 years ago when we lived up in the hills at our mine?
You mean the cabin? Before the claim jumper shot Mom?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I do. I remember everything. How she used to say poetry to me, fix my clothes, and how pretty she was.
Yeah, she loved you very much, Daniel. She always wanted the very best for you. That's why we moved into town right after she died. I thought you wouldn't be so lonesome, that I could take better care of you.
You do. You take real good care of me.
Oh, this job keeps me too busy. You have to cook and clean up. You have to wash your own clothes a lot of the time.
I don't mind. I always said it was good to know how to do things.
Yeah, well, she meant more than just those things, Daniel. She meant an education. She'd want you to be in school right now. I know she would.
Well, then maybe we ought to move someplace where there is one.
Sheriff's jobs aren't that easy to come by. I don't know anything else. I talked to Jared about it.
Mr. Barkley?
That's right, Mr. Barkley.
What did you talk to him about?
You're going to Stockton with him, Daniel. You're going to live at that school I was telling you about the other day.
You're fooling. Ain't you, Pa?
No. No, I'm not, Daniel.
But I don't want to live there. I want to live here with you.
No good here. Living next to a jail. Never knowing what's going to happen next.
I don't care what happens as long as I'm with you.
Well, I do care. You're going to get an education, Daniel. You're going to make a life for yourself away from here. Oh, Daniel, you'll like it. There'll be a lot of boys. You'll make friends.
No, I won't.
I'm sorry, boy. You're leaving as soon as the marshal gets here. Now, go get ready.
There's lots of time. I'll do it later. After I get rid of all my frogs.
You'll do it now. Right now.
Yes, sir.
It's for the best, boy. You'll see. Go on now.
They're coming, Dave.
Come on! You stay here, Daniel. Cover me from inside.
Don't let them take me, please, Mr. Barkley.
Don't worry, Wonglow. They won't.
You can't have him. You stay back or somebody's gonna get hurt.
Get out of the way, you're gonna be hurt.
I'm warning you, Cusack, and all the rest of you. Stay back or I'll shoot.
You can't shoot us all, Sheriff.
I don't want to shoot anybody, Mr. Glover, but you can't have Wong Lo.
That scavenger has done enough damage. He's killed one of my men. A merger that would have benefited the whole town. We're going to see that he pays.
And I'm going to see he gets a fair trial.
He's already had a trial. Been found guilty, right, boys? I'm warning you, Sheriff, for the last time. Stand aside.
Not a chance.
I'll kill the next man that moves.
Pa! Oh, Pa! Pa!
Well, Sidney, you came here to destroy law and order, and I'd say you've done a pretty good job. Is he hurt bad? You're pretty lucky this time. It's only a flesh wound.
What you had to do it for? What for? We should help him like he's always done. Like he's done for a lot of you. Because Wong Lo was in trouble. He's always helped everybody when they was in trouble. Everybody. Ever since he came into this town. Remember when the mine beams fell on you, Cusack? And how Pa stayed by you till the doctor came? Fed you whiskey so it wouldn't hurt so bad. And how about the night you was gone to Stockton, Mr. Corcoran? And how Pa fetched your wife, just in time for a baby to come. He never left you alone neither, Mr. Glover. Even if you are rich. Remember when your daughter was cutting that Snowden stage? And everybody said that they couldn't get through? You said you'd get through if it killed you. So you rode out. You and Pa. And when your horse went down, Pa brought you and Miss Janice both in safe. He stood by every one of you sometime or other. Why couldn't you stand by him? Why couldn't you?
Well, gentlemen, in addition to everything else, it looks like you all have short memories.
Huh?
Stay where you are, Sidney. He needs help. You can help best by getting this rabble out of here. All right, men. Back to your jobs and stay there. Go on. Sheriff, I've been a hard-headed businessman all my life, but I always pay my debts. Jared's right. We do have short memories.
I'm sorry about coming out, Pa. I tried not to. But I heard the shots. And I knew he was out here. Alone. I had to come out. I just had to.
I'm glad you did, son.
Do I have to go away, Pa? Really? I mean, can't I just stay? Can't I?
You better. Can't expect me to eat at that cafe all the time.
Mr. Barkley, since yesterday, Ling and I owe you much gratitude. Because of this, we have talked. We will sell you and Mr. Glover the mine.
I'm happy to hear that, Wong Lo. It'll mean a great deal to the town of Rimfire.
Money will mean much to us in getting a lawyer.
Don't you worry about that. You've already got one at no cost.
Not much of a case against you anyway, Wong. Cusack admitted that you did kill Pete in self-defense.
Perhaps Ling and I will have roots after all.
Well, Dave.
Bye, Jared. Thanks for everything.
Daniel, I want you to promise to take good care of your paw.
Don't you worry, I will.